प्रतिबोधितं भगवतां नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन क्रदिता पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणी भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनी अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ततामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी. In the same way, freedom, yes. The result of jnana nishtha is not something that is to be accomplished later, but is seen. It is immediate because Atma is already free. Here too there is a knower, jnata, the instrument of knowledge, jnana, and something to be known, jnaya, involved in the various things undertaken to know, like Shravana, etc. Shravana, etc. Etc. Now for this activity, to know the Atma, what is the result? The result is the knowledge of the non-dual Atma, and because of that, no other result is possible, nor is any other karma possible. Once that result is accomplished. Therefore, jnana nishtha cannot be accomplished by karma. Knowledge is always as true as the object, and for that you require only a means of knowledge, pramana. Here, because I cannot objectify the Atma, the knower is exposed to the teaching, and the teaching reveals the nature of the knower as Brahman, the ear of the ear.
Yeah, that is what is explained figuratively as ear of the ear, eye of the eye, mind of the mind, and all that. So that is what is explained as the what you cannot objectify. Because ear you can objectify, eyes you can objectify, but ear of the ear, eye of the eye, mind of the mind, etc. is basically what is pouching on this mind and all the instruments. So that is naturally not visible, because what are visible, what can be visualized only through mind or eyes, ears and all indriyas. So what is going to power these indriyas and the mind naturally cannot be seen by them. So obviously, so that is why it is not objectifiable. So that is what is being told here, by saying that it is ear of the ear, eye of the eye, etc.
Strotrasya, the eye of the eye, chakshuhu, the mind of the mind, and the very nature of the seer, the hearer, the one who is not an agent, and the one who is akarta. After receiving that knowledge, is there something else I should get? Something else that I should do? For what purpose? Even in karma, I do not do further action once I have the result. So how is it possible to think of knowledge followed by some karma to get that knowledge? I do Shravana, etc. in order to gain moksha, which is jnana nishtha. Once that is gained, why should I do karma?
So that's what he says. Basically, even in karma, once we decide, I want to gain some object. Once you gain that object, you don't need to do any further karma. Here, the object itself is only knowledge. So once you gain that knowledge, there is nothing to do further. Not doing is never involved, not even gaining further knowledge. Once you know, that's it. So there is nothing to be done beyond that. So that is what he says and stops here. Let us see what the objection is.
This is all a response to there is no need to combine karma with jnana.
Yeah, with jnana. Either you don't have to do karma or you don't have to combine karma with jnana. Both the options are ruled out. For jnanam, just jnanam is required. Why karma and why karma and jnana mixed up and all? Because that is the commitment of the whole shastra. Purva Mimamsaka is basically meaning the whole 99% of the Veda is only Purva Mimamsaka, meaning karma kanda. And only 1% is Upanishad. What Gita and all are belonging to, understanding, knowledge and understanding is only nice to do like every other Laukikam, science, empirical knowledge, application, machines, car, everything is knowledge and application. First you have to gain knowledge, then you apply. You have to do karma. Essentially, you have to do karma. So without that, life is not possible in all facets of life. Completely 99%. So the entire Veda also was originally focusing only on the 99% of the society and 90% of the human pursuit. So much we are committed to the karma, even in terms of understanding your own reality and all that, we want to be doing some karma. Okay. You understand, fine, but you have to do karma. So that is the content. We are so much that, we are, commitment to karma is so great. So we just cannot, we feel life is no use without doing karma. So even in the Vedika and even at the Upanishad level, they said, okay, study, understand, but you have to do karma. So that is the commitment which Shankara is demolishing. Basically, they say the main reason for people taking to that period when Shankara was around, before that and little after that, the period was so much of ritualistic, the Vedas and all. That is what I was telling that. From Prachinam to Arvachinam. That is, Prachinam was originally, there was this worship and all that, only the Panchabhutas like sun, moon, and Akasha, Vayu, Agni. That Panchabhuta worship was there. It was there in the original Vedic, that is Prachinam. But later, what happened, over a period of time, the rituals started taking predominance. Because of various acharyas, the Swamiji always, there is the original mischief maker. Somebody starts up this various karmas and all. So the karma rituals and all became so much obsessive, and people started moving away from the karma-based religion. That is why Buddhism. Buddha himself, even though he is a Hindu monk, he was against too much of rituals and the discrimination in society. So he said the Vedas meaning karma kanda part of it, he was not giving importance. Since he is not giving importance, they tried to keep him away and all that. And also the Buddhist people who followed Buddha, even though Buddha was essentially a Hindu monk, he believed in Upanishads, he didn't believe in Veda, karmas and all that. The people who follow, they totally kept Veda, including Upanishads, out. So they became Buddhists. So that was a danger during Shankara's period. Shankara introduced the importance of Upanishads and the reality understanding of life is possible only in Upanishads. You, having been born into this culture and religion, we should not move away from that. So that way he strongly opposed the Buddhists, not Buddha, Buddhists. So because of that reason, Buddhism went away from India. That is one good aspect of it. Or we can say, essentially karmas and all have not been too much of ritualism. There was not, don't have to do so many rituals. Let us go back to Prachinam. If it has been true, but Upanishads don't leave it. Even Buddha has not left the Upanishad. If by that, if the Buddhism could have remained in India. But unfortunately, what happened, once Buddhism was told that no, you have to have a Shraddha in Vedas, you cannot throw the baby along with the bath water. You cannot discard Upanishads along with karma. That was, they were not, unfortunately, that is where Swamiji also says, like even it is mentioned, Manduke Karika, which is supposed to be that period, Shankara's 2 generations before, they say this Advaita was not as told by the Upanishad, it was not communicated by Buddha to his disciples. So even though he was an Hindu monk, his people moved away from this understanding. So Buddhena Bhashitam, அப்படின்னா சொல்லிருக்கு. Buddhena Bhashitam. Buddha கரெக்டாக சொல்லலை அப்படி. But which some people don't agree with it. So because of that, what happened? Buddhism. But what happened? That Shankara had to fight all the Mimamsakas, that all the Karmakandis. This is what he is doing here. throughout, whenever he get an opportunity in Gita, in Upanishad, Bhashyam also, wherever he had to dismiss the karma samuchaya vada of the Purva Mimamsakas, he dismisses them and establishes Upanishadic knowledge. By understanding alone, you get the knowledge. Thereafter, karma upaya is only to run the society in a smooth manner and to karma to be converted into yoga, so that everyone, whomsoever is in the bhakti or in the karma marga, they will essentially become a karma yogi and understand the Upanishad vastu, that you are real here and now. Your reality is Purnam here and now. That is the ultimate of the moksha, is the ultimate purpose of human life. Forget this religion, that religion and all. There is no religion coming into. Religion is only as a prayer. Whereas the ultimate understanding is meant for all human beings. It is meant for, that is where Manava Dharma is called. Narayeva Narayana and all, there is no discrimination. But meant for all the four varnas and all that. So that is where again, from the varna, once karma comes into being, the varna becomes important.
Yeah.
Only Brahmins and all that. That way also it spoils the whole society. Whereas once you say Upanishads, understanding is meant for everyone, all human beings, all of them are supposed to understand at their own level, and society would have been a much better place. Shankara did his best. He brought a lot of people back to Hinduism, but still this karma kandi still remained even after Shankara. And that is where Madhva and Ramanujam and all, they converted, they brought importance.
Right. When you are gone out of
Network.
network,
Can you hear?
picture people are very good.
பழைய பிக்சர் தானே.
Maybe very slow.
No problem, please, network.
என்ன பிரசாந்த் சாமிஜி போயிட்டேன்.
ஃபோன் பண்ணியிருக்கோம்.
Hello.
It's a problem in the network.
Network is a problem.
You are off for about few minutes. You are off for few minutes.
We're talking about you were talking about karma kandis that.
So what happened once? Okay, the Buddhism part of it we have taken care of, but the karma part of it still remained. That is because of the other acharyas, Dvaita acharyas, Vishwadvaita, they gave importance to both. But when they gave importance to both, what happened? That again 99% remains on Karmakanda. Only 1% people are following Advaita, which is the real Vedanta, means Advaita. They say everything is Vedanta. Even that means what? Karma, rituals, 99% becomes more important. So naturally people's attention gets diverted.
It is because they don't accept this. Both are same.
That is what. The basic Upanishad means. Upanishad is, the Upanishad Tatparyam itself is misinterpreted. The same Vakyas are misinterpreted. To say that Bhagavan and you, Bhagavan is Bhagavan, you are you. So that means two levels of reality are both are equally real. Then once both are equally real, naturally, which is the majority? Too many people are the majority. So naturally, both are real. I am real. You are also independently real. Means I have to win over you, or I have to agree that I am small, you are big.
Yes.
So naturally, people are busy contending with each other and all those things. Which is, once you understand that this reality, being is one and the same in all, then automatically that's what you call that samatvam in society, dharma, values, everything gets proper place. It's not that everything has a proper place. But ultimately, you and I are one and the same means that is unity in diversity, which is possible. Unity and diversity, they don't agree. Like all these people, no, Bhagavan is Bhagavan. You have to, all of us have to be, and I can be a better dasa compared to you. So there again, this thing that I am better devotee compared to you, even from devotees. So all these problems we are still living with, even though Shankara had, at that time we had taken care of the Buddhism way of not accepting Vedas along with Upanishads, that we have taken care of, but not our people who are still, that is why Vedanta, they say that Advaita is one philosophy, that's all. Dualism, that is Dvaita is another philosophy, and Vishishta Dvaita is another philosophy, all that. So, there is no, the important, the reality of understanding has got diluted. That is precisely what Shankara's thing is. Shankara at that time he did what he could do. That is why we are able to get it. We are going into his level of understanding and looking at the whole Upanishads. That is why we are looking at only Upanishads and Brahma Sutra and Gita, which have been commented by Shankara. There are 100 Upanishads. We don't look at 100 Upanishads. We look only 10 Upanishads which Shankara has commented. Shankara Bhashyam has given us the correct understanding of life through this Prasthana Traya, meaning Gita and 10 Upanishads and Brahma Sutra Bhashyam. So that gives us a correct understanding. That is called Advaita. That is, we don't call Advaita Vedanta because Vedanta means Advaita. But unfortunately, the usage is very different. If you go and ask any of these people who are very serious Advaitis and all that, even Krishna conscious, ISKCON and all, they will not agree. They say, no, Shankara's philosophy is fine, ours is different. That is unfortunate part of it. That is one aspect of it. But anyway, Shankara now is doing this. He has removed the karma, jnana. Jnana is alone required for this understanding. Neither karma nor karma and jnana mix up. That is what he is trying to keep on telling. And the Mimamsakas at that time also were not agreeing to that. So he has to do so much of it. Yeah.
Swamiji, I have a question. If everybody is following Vedanta, every Hindu, and then tries to get jnana, there will be no work for Vedikas.
Yeah, that is all there, no doubt. But it is not going to happen. Even in Shankara's time, it didn't happen. Even Shankara had some disciples. That is why he says at the end of it, let the phenomenal world take care of itself. You don't have to hold brief for the whole world. You don't try to change you understand, whether you understand or not. Don't imagine if everyone has understood what will happen to society. That is not it's not going to happen. That is idealistic. We should be realistic. Whether I understand life or not. That is why I always say understanding. Don't even call it philosophy, don't even call it Vedanta, don't even call it spirituality. Don't even call any of those things. Whether I understand life or not. What is the reality of my life? That is what we are doing. And it is not going to happen because it needs, this I have told before also, Kushagraya Buddhiya. Very, what do you call? Very sharp intellect, where the subtle understanding will be the subtlest. So that is not going to happen with everyone. Even science and all that, not everyone is able to go up to PhD and all that. The same way, for this understanding also you need that. So we don't have to worry if everyone starts understanding what will happen. No, not going to happen. Let us understand. The beauty is, what is the Tatparyam? Here and now I am Purnam. That no other, what do you call, because there is no other understanding which is reality understanding. This is the only reality understanding. And it is very common sense also. Right now also we can see that the being in all of us, which I always keep telling, right now if we are honest with ourselves, we know the being by which I am able to appreciate what is my ear, what is my eyes, what is my mind, even my mind, what is happening, my emotion, everything I am able to see. Who is that I who is seeing all those things? Even my own emotion. It has to be the being. And naturally it cannot have any avayava, because if it has an avayava, that avayava it cannot see. But we are seeing. So what is the proof? Proof is I. I am the proof of my reality, that I am the being. That is precisely the Tattvaryam of Vedanta. And once we are able to see that reality, we cannot close our eyes to it. Or we cannot say, no, if everyone starts understanding, if everyone understands that being is a reality, what happens to all these bodies? People who understood the reality also, still body takes care of itself. Your mind tells, take this place, go down and go and eat.
No, Bhagavan himself says that 4th chapter, no?
Yeah.
I'm carrying one.
In the sense, that is automatic. It is not an issue at all. Even then, even with all the understanding, people will still be doing some work and all that. There will be some propitiation. There will be some food. When you eat food, Nevedyam will be there. All that will be there. It's not going to stop. We don't have to go to that extent that if everyone understands, then all these things will stop. That you don't have to really go to that side of the argument. That becomes what happens, it stunts your mind. Whereas whether I understand, whether I am able to claim my reality is very important. And for that, a lot of honesty is required, a lot of, this alignment between your, this is what I want to know, this is a pramana, this is what it says, I am not distracted by anything else, and whether I understand or not. That is continuous, it's a lifetime exercise. So that is what we should focus on, rather than, of course, this question like what happens if that is not a question at that time, that is a question now people ask. That is one of the Purva-paksha which we can answer like this. But he has another different kinds of Purva-paksha which is answering one by one. Let us see that.
Yeah. Objection. Though karma, accepting that knowledge and karma cannot be simultaneously combined for moksha, a Purva-pakshi, an opponent, now asks why they cannot be done consecutively like two different types of action. Suppose a man wants to go to heaven. He performs appropriate karma, Agnihotra, etc. But at that time, he cannot eat. After Agnihotra, he can eat. But the two actions cannot be done simultaneously by the same agent. The performance of Agnihotra, the ritual, the prayer, is meant for going to heaven, and eating is meant for appeasing hunger. One action cannot be done now.
Can be done.
Can be done now and the other later.
And the other later. Similarly, why can you not first gain knowledge and afterwards do karma? Even though you cannot do them together, you can always do them consecutively. And also the act of eating, Bhujikriya, is a Laukika action and has only Drishtapala and no Adrishtapala. Whereas Agnihotra has the Adrishtapala of heaven. A person who wants both the results has to do both. In this manner, the same person cannot accomplish two results. Can accomplish two results. The seen result, moksha, and later the unseen result, heaven, swarga. He will get both the results. Knowledge will give the immediate result, Drishtapala, and karma will give the unseen result, Adrishtapala. The same person is not doing two things at the same time for the same result. He is doing two different actions at two different times for the purpose of getting two different results. Similarly, why not we accept a combination that jnana will give moksha here in this life, and the other karmas like Agnihotra will give Swarga Prapti later for the same person when done at different times.
Swamiji, you said this Prachina and Arvachina, they were worshipping Panchabhutas. Then this idol worship came later.
Yes, that is called Arvachinam.
I see.
The last 1500 years, around 700 AD onwards. That is the period. There is a dispute again. There are plus minus 500 BC. There is minus 500 BC to there is 500 BC to 500 AD was supposed to be the golden period of India. That is the time when Bharyabhatta, Shankara, and all lived there. Whereas after 500 AD, that is 2000 years, almost 1500 years, it is now all Arvachinam.
So when Shankara's time, no idol worship?
No, it was there, it was started. Little bit of it has started. That is why people are getting put off. That is why people went to Buddhism and all that.
So temples and all only after...
now it has become so prevalent. After Shankara, it has become very, very... Totally Buddhism went off. They have already been sent out of India. And only this thing was there, and all this Mughal invasion and all that, people became more and more, like even when Tamil Nadu, when there is Dravida coming there, more people go to temple. In the same way, when all these invaders and all British and all came, the next 2000 years, people became more and more going to the temple and all that. So ritual, they wanted more and more deities. Everyone wanted to have their own deity, Ishtadeva and all that. And everyone spun out what do you call Sthala Puranam and all those things, stories and all. Bhagavatam has become totally story. So much of things has happened because what has happened is it has distracted from understanding the reality. See, your Laukika and the activity itself distracts. Plus Vaidika also become Vaidika Laukika. There again is something more and more competitive and commercial and busy. People are busy. Once you get into that psyche, people are busy running that. Even the person who starts a temple with a good intention, for running the temple and he wants to do add more and more murti, he will do one Shiva, one Vishnu. But now along the Shiva, so many other 8 or 10 vigrahas. And then everyone has got their own this thing, and everything has got a Kupabhishekam, all those things, rituals and all that. So it has become so cluttered now. Even religion has become cluttered. So what has happened is the reality gets more and more hidden.
No, but then this Jnana, Sambandar, Sundarar, the Manikava, they all went to different temples upper.
Yeah, but even then, actually, look at Chandrasekhar, Sundara, Manikava, that time Shiva alone was there, maybe, but not like so many. You can see that even those periods were all even golden period, I would say. Upper Sundara, Manikava, Sakar, Sambandar was okay. Even Alvars. Even Alvars also okay.
All temples and
only after this Ramanuja, the last 200, just about last 500 years only, no, Ramanuja also. And then the 63 Nayanmars and 12 Alvars, even that was okay. That time also is not a major problem, but they were saying that about Singh and Alvar means Perumal. Perumal has got different Stalangas and all that. But now you look at, forget Perumal and Shiva. There is so much of Shakti and Kali, Durga, and too many of the variety of Durgas, now Durga, that Durga, that Durga, Sitala Devi, Pratyangara Devi, so much and so much. I tell you, it is unimaginable for anyone. I can see that. When people get so much stuck with these murtis and all that, it's very difficult to take them out of that and start looking at. I tell them, people, that okay, whatever be the murtis, everywhere you look at them only as Ishvara. When you do the arati for any deity, you say that my oneness, I seek oneness with that Ishvara, and I want let all of them, the puja abhishekam பண்ணும்போது திருமஞ்சனம்லாம் பண்ணும்போது உள்ளம் குளிரணும்னா நான் பகவானுடைய உள்ளம் குளிரணும். You must be very clear. ஒரு மனசு நிறைஞ்சு போய் அந்த உள்ளம் குளிர்ந்து தென் அந்த அபிஷேகத்துக்கு அப்புறம் ஆரத்தி காமிக்கிறப்போ பிரத்யக்ஷ தீபம் தூபம் காமிக்கும் போது பகவான் all of us have surrendered totally, all our what you call ill and bad and good and everything and all my wealth and everything. Now I am light, I feel light-hearted. I am just waiting for the alankaram to be over and then arati. After the arati I feel one with Bhagavan and let me feel one with Bhagavan. Let it can be a bhavana also. Let it not be an understanding. Let the bhavana be there. And The bhavana, let it sustain. Okay, if I am one with Bhagavan in that period of devotion and all that, why I get into problems when I come out? There should be something wrong. And the query should start. Then we must you must get the right guru with the grace, all right guru. You must be able to say, correct. But the bhavana is the bhava. The reality is only that there is oneness alone with you and Bhagavan. There is no difference. Everything else is keep on changing. All your glory, alankaram, everything keeps changing this way. That is how life is. The changing thing is changing, whereas oneness is the reality between you and Bhagavan. Keep on emphasizing that. That is precisely what I do to people, even when I go to temple. Because that is the reality, that is common sense also, that we can easily own up. If we are honest with ourselves, we can easily see that reality. And that can be the only reality. But that is a changeless. We want. Even namakku santosham vandalum, what we are looking for in santosham? We want that santosham forever. And we don't want any diminishing santosham or increasing santosham.
Yes, yes.
So that means what? Changelessness is your objective in life. And that is your reality also. Because, and also, the common sense says, you will be at home with only your home. So the home has to be, why you are always looking for that changeless? Because changeless is your home. So common sense, that is, Sruti Anukula Tarka. If you have that honesty in your understanding, then you can easily say what the Upanishad say. It is really you are totally aligned with that. Your reasoning and the Sruti, both are aligned. The Sruti Anukula Tarka. Once that is there, that is called Nishtha. Then only Nishtha can happen. Otherwise doubts will keep happening. Doubts will be there if there is wrong knowledge. If even with all that Vishishadvaita and all that, there will always be a doubt that whether I am a good dasa or he is a good dasa. So dasasya adile category, hierarchy. First dasa, second dasa. But anyway, I am going to be second dasa only throughout my life. So I am not going to be, that aruchi will be there. I will not be very comfortable with that idea. Then one will carry that to the grave. So, honesty is very important in all this understanding. Swamiji always used to say that. If you look at it, that is where our Sanatanam is Sadatanam. Meaning, what is changeless? Changeless is called Sadatanam. Sada means what? Always. What can be always there? Only changeless. Changing means what? It was not there before. It is going to be different. That is why it's called changing. So how can you call it changing reality? Changing is changing. Reality is reality. So idella very clear and clear that is your automatic understanding, and that is where it is the Pujya Bhavana. Atmani Pujya Bhavana means your completeness. That is why Pujyam.
Actually, கொஞ்ச நாள் முன்னாடி சிவன் சார் இது ஏதோ பார்த்தோம் யூடியூப்ல. See his what do you call the slogan என்ன சொல்வா அவரோட இதுவே உபதேசமே absolute honesty is spirituality அப்படினுட்டு. So இப்போ அன்னைக்கு எனக்கு I was thinking we should be honest.
Because we cannot have that, okay, this all fine, but அதுவும் கொஞ்சம் வேணும். Little bit of that, little bit of this.
But now I feel the honesty it is not being true. I mean, telling the truth and it is
truth more well ascertained. Rhythm. That is why Shastra also says Rhythm Vada. Rhythm Vada means what? Well ascertained truth. It is not what you think as true. What you think as true is because of your old notions and memories. But when you get into knowledge, you must be able to drop all those notions.
That's what. So he also means
ascertained knowledge.
He means
which will not change with time. That is called Jnanam. That is Rhythm. That is why Rhythm. That is why Satyam Vada, Rhythm Vada. Satyam Vada, Rhythm Vada. Whole starts about knowledge and well ascertained knowledge. Knowledge and well ascertained. Nunippul Mayapudadu. Which we tell. Even science also it is true. Nunippul Mayapudadu. You must go deep into that. But this is the ultimate science. I have always told you, ontology and epistemology. What cannot be improved upon, negated is called knowledge. And that category, no science is knowledge. Because everything can be improved upon. Whereas this understanding, cannot be improved upon, cannot be negated. And because logically, what is changeless, what is timeless, objectless, spaceless, cannot be touched. It is not available for change. So, that has to be the truth. That is why epistemologically, truth, knowledge, and satyam, order of reality also. This can be the only reality. Even though we call it order of reality, satyam and vidya, vidya is not reality. Vidya is there because of satyam.
Yes, yes.
Vidya means is not that's why vidya is not an object available. Vidya is, if you take something not real as real, that is called vidya. Once you understand the reality, vidya is not there, only satyam. So, this is a lot clarity. This clarity is what you are trying to get. This clarity through this Purva Puruksha Siddhanta. Simultaneously, you have to apply what our understanding, current day understanding also. That also is a Purva Puruksha. That's why I have to tell Swamiji, this Purva Puruksha may not be there, but today's society has got a lot of other Purva Purukshas. Which I don't know the answer, but for that your understanding should be clear. That is why I always prefer satsang. I don't never take a text. Whenever people come here, I always take satsang. Question and answer, question and answer. And they give Gopi, Suresh, they were all asking questions and they said at the end of the day they were happy with the answers. There's some clarity. It's fine, that's all what we can do. Yeah.
Shankara's answer, a mokshati will not desire for anything else, therefore karma is useless. Previously it was said that karma and jnana could not be performed by the same person because the person who is pursuing Atma Jnana has no desire for the result of karma. If it is suggested that both can be done one after the other, Shankara negates that. It is not possible because when the knowledge which has the result of moksha is gained, a desire for the sake of a given result is not tenable. Na kaivalya phale jnane kriya palarthitvanupapat. Kriya palarthitva anupapatte.
Anupapatti. Because what for? See, once having understood, what for somebody should perform karma? So, then what will happen is then the question will be, karma pannata na hoga. Karma nadakum. Nee panna vendam. Because you know that you are not karta. But still you will go to be it.
Okay.
So that is phenomenal. That will happen. Automatically that will happen. That is the body mind senses or reality. That is a niyati again. That is that niyati also is the glory of the being alone. Being or the glory da panchapudam panchapramanama irukku. So automatically if the body is assembled between all for assembling this body and putting this prana, pancha prana and all that, no mother is author, no one is the author. But it has happened.
Yes.
In the same way it will get sustained. Automatically you don't have to worry that how will I eat? I will still eat. You have seen all the people who are understood are eating properly. Actually they eat properly compared to other people. Where they are alert. They don't have look at it as I have to enjoy this food. I have to grab the buffet in the pota, I have to eat maximum. See, anxiety because there is no value for that. Karma is just to sustain what is required. A body, normal body, sustain பண்றதுக்கு உண்டானது அது அலர்ட்டா வச்சுக்கிறதுக்கு வியாதி இல்லாம வச்சுக்கிறதுக்கு உண்டானதை செய்வோம். மிதமா தூங்குவோம், மிதமா சாப்பிடுவோம், மிதமா everything will be alert life. So it is not that so the question that karma pannata enna hona, that is of course way in which he answers is different. It's not necessary. It's not necessary for understanding. That's what he says. So if we ask the question, no, it's not going to happen. That we all know. That is where we have to be honesty. We have to be honest. So I want to know. I want to understand reality. No. That is not. First understand. Then whatever has to happen will happen. So that is how we have to look at. Yeah.
There is no possibility of any other result. This is similar to the gain of the 10th man.
Yeah.
Please see the story of 10th man.
We know, all of us know.
That yes.
You have said so much. Yeah. You just what is there, you have lost sight of. That's all. So you don't have to gain anything. You have to understand only that you are already there. Yeah.
Here too, the knowledge alone is the result. If he is the 10th man and does not recognize it, thinking that there are only 9, because he has failed to count himself, the knowledge that he is the 10th man is the result. This is the discovery of the 10th man. Gaining the 10th man is in the form of knowing the 10th man. Because he himself is the 10th man, all he requires is to discover, I am the 10th man. Knowing that the 10th man is gained. Similarly, when knowledge which has the result of non-duality is gained, a desire for another result or an action which is a means for that is not tenable. Or we can put it this way, any action implies certain knowledge of what you are doing, how it is to be done, and why you are doing it. Without knowledge, no one can begin any type of meaningful activity. A Vedic ritual especially is dependent upon knowledge gained from the Veda. But mere knowledge of the Veda will not give you the result. For that, you have to perform the appropriate karma. Only practice anushtana which is preceded by knowledge can produce a result such as heaven or progeny, etc. Knowing that the Agnihotra ritual produces the result of heaven and also knowing how to do the ritual does not result in going to heaven without the ritual being performed. Similarly, knowing that Atma is Brahman does not produce moksha. It has to be followed by the enjoined karma. Then you will get moksha. No, this is also not tenable. Why? Because knowledge of Atma is the result. It is immediate, drishta. When you gain the knowledge, I am Brahman, that is moksha. And therefore there is no necessity to perform any subsequent action to attain the result of moksha. Whether it is a karma enjoined by the Veda or any other karma, he has no desire to perform it. Why? Inadequacy is the basis for all desires. All desires come from the sense of inadequacy, which is centered on ignorance. That is, they are centered on my notion of myself as inadequate. This sense of inadequacy is not centered on my body or on my mind. Even though the sense is appreciated in the mind, it does not belong to the mind or anything else, but only to I, the doer karta. The notion that I am inadequate is entirely different from an objective evaluation of inadequacy. Suppose I want to make a shirt for someone who is very big and I find that I do not have enough cloth. Therefore, I say that the cloth is inadequate. That is purely objective. But my own sense of inadequacy is not exactly like my appreciation of the inadequacy of the amount of the cloth I have. It has nothing to do with anything objective like my body or my mind. The body does not have the sense of inadequacy, nor does the mind. It is not about anything. It is centered on myself, on my notion of I. Therefore, I am inadequate is the problem. This is negated by the Shastra, which says that I is complete Purna, it is Param Brahma, and therefore limitless. When that is known, where is the sense of inadequacy?
So that is where my thing, that article on Atmavan. So Atmavan is there. Atma is only one Atma. Whether you can identify that Atma with inadequacy or with adequacy. Adequacy is the reality, inadequacy is a notion. If you identify the Atma with the inadequate, then you will be a aparoksha samsari. If you identify it correctly, you will be aparoksha samsari. Both are aparoksha, and that is only Atma. It is not body, mind, senses are instruments only. They are not going to feel inadequate or adequate. You identify yourself with the mind, and the mind inefficiency, you consider it as your inefficiency and say I am inadequate. Whereas I is the reality, mind, body, senses, emotions, everything is only instruments. And instruments can be plus minus. And you can deal with it, no problem. But identifying, most important word, catchword in this whole thing is identification. That is what Bhagavan also told in the beginning to Arjuna. You are identifying aham mama buddhi is the problem, not the situation, not dharma. Okay, for establishing dharma, you come for the war, that's fine. But now having come for the war, you are identifying yourself with your body and mind, say, that fellow's body, mind, what will happen? This fellow's body, mind, what will happen? Everything is body, mind will keep changing. What comes and comes, what got assembled will disintegrate one day or other. So you don't have to, you look at the eye. The eye in all of them are one and the same. They are not going to, nothing is going to happen. Whether they'll understand it or not. So the issue is that you have to, what for you have come to establish Dharma, you do it. And don't worry that what will happen, I feel hurt, they will feel hurt and all that. But I feeling hurt and I feeling inadequate is because of the wrong identification. So that is what he is addressing. If this address is correctly understood, then once he understands, he also is ready to go and fight the war. That is the final. That's what he is now already told all that. Now you do whatever you want, but now he is explaining. Shankara is explaining through the program that is what is the adequacy, what is you are adequate here and now, Purnam here and now. Don't identify with your body or mind. And start telling aham, 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 mama, aham, mama, aham, mama. That is where the problem is. He says that. Yeah.
It is inadequacy that is the basis for all my desires. Thinking that by doing an action, I will get certain result and thereby be somebody more acceptable than I am now. These kinds of binding desires stem from ignorance of the Atma being full, and once Atma is appreciated as full, they cannot be there. One may have a simple desire to do something just because one is capable of it, as an expression of the Lord's glory, Vibhuti, but that has nothing to do with a sense of desire that is born of inadequacy.
Yeah, so can still be doing. Everyone has got some talent. Somebody who is good at music will sing. Somebody who is good at dance will dance. But that doesn't make you more adequate than what you are. That is your talent, vibhuti of your body, mind, senses and all that. Yes, talent, whatever comes with the society, upbringing and all that. So that you have to de-link. That, okay, on a given day, so you perform better music than compared to that singer. You don't feel I have done. Okay, your vibhuti, Bhagavan has expressed through that, fine. You make some more prayer. So, thank God that I have done very well. So, but don't identify that I have done well. It's all Ishvara's vibhuti. That's why he says, Ishvara's vibhuti, expressing through your body, mind, senses.
That kind of desire is what is discussed here. It will not be there for the one who has gained the knowledge which has moksha as its result. What would he get out of it?
Yeah, because he is already adequate. He is already satisfied person. Because he is appreciated by the given performance on a given day, he is not going to hit the ceiling. Or something bad happens also, he is not going to feel, because he is adequate. Yes. If something happens in the field of Vyavahara, that's all. He will appropriately act on it. If something can be done, he will do. Otherwise, he will accept as the prasada. So all that has become possible. In the sense, rational living, righteous living, all becomes very natural to that person. Because he doesn't have an agenda. Because he is already complete. He doesn't have to do anything to become more adequate. Yeah.
There cannot be any desire to improve the self because it is full. Shankara gives an example which we also saw in the second chapter, Gita 2.46.
Yeah.
36. There cannot be any desire to improve the self. That is that Apuryamanam Achala Pratishtam.
Yeah, Apuryamanam Achala Pratishtam. Like the person is like
ocean when it is full.
When there is in rivers and the canals, there will be always a well at the corner of the border or the bank. Because what happens during summer, when there is no enough water in the river, people still need the water. They will create a well in the river bed only. There, once you go deep, there will be water. So then they will use it for the summer. But later, when the floods come, that well will get submerged totally. So what is the point of that well and pond when the river is overflowing, flooded? In the same way, when your heart is full and adequate, total, your purnam, what your small achievements is going to, in what way they are going to make you fuller or more adequate. That is the example. Apuryamanam Achala Pratishtam.
I thought, actually, the first time, I don't know whether I didn't get it when you explained then. I was thinking ocean is full of water, even if nadis, all get into the ocean, whatever. Still the ocean it always maintains this level.
Yeah, that is also there, no? In Akashat Paditam Toyam, Yatha Gacchati Sagaram, Sarvadeva Namaskaraha, Kesavam Pradikachati. That is our famous, every one of us doing Sandhyavandanam, finally we say that it is there. Akashat Paditam Toyam, it is there in every Sandhyavandanam.
So I thought this also
so that is also, when all the rivers merge into the ocean, there is all the differentiation is gone. Which river is bigger than which river? All go into the ocean anyway. So that also is a good example. But generally the Apuryamanam is talking about only particular pond and because there it is very easily visible for people to understand that. So even common people can understand. There is a common Drishtanta was given. So that is what it is, yeah.
There cannot be any desire to improve the self. It is already full. Suppose you pray for rain and the rain comes in cascades that it floods everything. When every place is filled with water, no one has a desire for a well or a pond. In India, we have these survivors' wells which are dug in the river bed when the river is dry. It is a common thing in summer. When the rain comes, the river is full of water. There is water everywhere. In fact, even the banks are broken. Everywhere it is flooded. Now, what is the use of that well? When the person who wants water finds water everywhere, how will he desire a well or a pond? He has achieved the result of his prayer.
So, our Purnatvam is like that of that flooded river. And our Apurnatvam, what we perceive, is like a well and a pond. So whether you want to be like that well or a pond or you want to be a full-flooded river, the choice is yours. But the reality is you are a full-flooded river. But still you identify yourself within a particular body and say, this body's glories is mine. That is the problem. Actually, the body's glories are like even the glory belongs to the water, neither to the well nor to the pond, not to the river. So if you understand ourselves as water, we will not be looking ourselves as the glory of a pond or a glory of a well. So that is what it is. Yeah. So what is the
Kaivalya Palehi Jnane Prapte Sarvataha Sampludodake Pale Kupa Tadagadi Kriya Palatitva Abhavavat Phalantere Tat Sadhana Bhutayam Va Kriyayam Artitvanupapattihi.
Yeah, this is the Shankara Bhashyam for that particular 2.46
explanation.
The verse, the Bhashyam on that. What we have discussed, what Swamiji has already elaborated, the same thing. That's what it's telling. So we are not interested in being a well or a pond. We are full of water, flooded with water. Our heart is flooded with understanding of the reality. When our heart is flooded with understanding of reality, we don't bother whether this illness is there, this addiction, whether I have got this job or that job, whether I live in this house or that house. That is all like a well or a pond. It's material. Whereas our heart is full with adequacy, Purnam. So that comes with understanding. So that is where we have to focus on. That understanding that Purnatvam, as it grows and wells in your heart, your inadequacy will not even, you want the inadequacy, the word will go out of your life. You will not even comparing yourself with the hot and cold, that Shitoshna, that I used to say, no, the opposites. The opposites will not have value. You will say this temperature, that's it. Not hot or cold. Oh, beautiful. That is the simplest way to example. Because weather is changing continuously all the time, one day hot, one day cold. And it is that even the labeling hot and cold creates a the bottleneck in our mind. Just say temperature. Whatever is the temperature, respond to it. So that way, because why? How can you be like that? Only when your heart is full with your reality understanding. Otherwise, they will become very important in your life. How to improve your comforts, how to decrease your discomfort. This will be our raga dvesha. Will be keep on chasing either a raga or avoid a dvesha. But that management of raga dvesha is only up to a point it is possible. By managing raga dvesha, you are not going to become adequate. The only way is to viveka. Viveka is, there is no hot or cold, there is only temperature. Why? Because I am full all the time. Temperature belongs to the body. It doesn't really, once you have that level of understanding that I am water, whether you are a wave or a breaker or a ocean or a river or a pond, doesn't matter. Somebody is ringing the bell.
I lost network connection in between completely.
We were not.
Dominate 20 minutes, 25 minutes. That's value chaila. Rehear the class completely. எல்லாமே போயிடுச்சு, எல்லா இன்டர்நெட்டும் போயிடுச்சு ஒரே நிமிஷம்.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ போயிடுது.
Yes.
Similarly
So
here.
that is why he says the inadequacy is the basis for all our desires. Desire itself, we are not interested in desire. We feel inadequate, that is why we go for it. That is how we have to understand. Why we are not desire for desire's sake. We feel inadequate, but once you have that adequacy, that is why Raga Dvesha is, I have told before also, what is the Hetu and Hetumat? Hetu is Viveka. And Hetumat is Raga Dvesha. If Viveka is there, Hetumat will not be there. The Hetu itself is taken care of. Hetu means reason is taken care of. Result is not going to be there. There is a cause, there will be an effect, no? The cause is taken care of, where is the question of effect? So, even though Shastra says, initially you have to manage your Raga Dvesha, you have to take care. Vairagyam should be there, Shraddha should be there, Vishra Pranidhanam should be there, everything should be surrendered, Karma and Karma Paladata, all those things are necessary as part of the Karma Yoga. But why Karma Yoga is not Karma Yoga's sake? Why you have taken to Karma Yoga? Because you want to understand. Understand what? Understand your reality. Now, from graduating from Dharma, Adharma Viveka to Nitya Vastu Viveka. And that Nityatvam is the reality. We are in the 18th chapter. So we are Nityatvam, our fullness have to become totally complete. Then automatically Raga Dvesha management and all becomes child's play. That is where we are, because it all depends on at what level we are talking about. Not all the time we should not be talking about Karma Yoga. As you grow into understanding, here we are talking about only what is the difference between Tyaga and Sannyasa. Initially he is told in the 18th chapter. So Tyaga, when it is called Tyaga, if you have a value for it, it's called Tyaga. You don't have, when you throw out the kuppai, you don't say I am doing Tyaga of kuppai. Kuppai thurinja porom. You don't have to do any Tyaga. So Tyaga is not material at all. Once you understand, Sannyasa meaning Purnam. Sannyasa meaning was in terms of understanding. By understanding Jnana, Karma, I don't have to do any karma to become more adequate. That's what he is trying to say. Jnana and karma need not be mixed up. Once I understand, what is the need for karma? That's what Shankara says. Whereas they say Jnanam Uchiko, Karma Uchiko. Why? Because that means Jnanam is not complete. The Nishtha is not there. Once the Nishtha is there, karma is not even karma. It is phenomenal. Natural things happen naturally. It is not your karma, it is Bhagavan's karma. And you will do what you are supposed to do. Automatic, that is not your karma. That is why karmani akarmaya paschet akarmani cha karmaya sa buddhiman manushyesu sa yukta sa krishna karma kriti. And we have seen further also. Tata pravritti bhutanam mena sarvam itam tatam swakarmana tam abhyarche siddhim vindadi manava siddhim. Illa karma panniyacho. Adhe mari ananya chinta ento maam ejana paripasate Desham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Ananya chinta ento maam. Nee nanu onnana basically adequate understanding like that. Onnoda yogamum shemam Bhagavan padatha. It's not your karma, it's his karma. Why we say? Because Bhagavan na taniya utar ukandirilla. All samashti karma. Everyone's karma together will happen. Natural things will happen naturally. Life, world knows how to run itself. You don't have to run it. If you try to run it only, you can only mess up. That is why that karta and bhokta, the trich pratyaya I have told before. Trich means trisamam. You are only capable of trisamam, messing up.
Yes.
If you leave it like that, things will run beautifully. So, karta bhokta nanachikradanaala a lot of problems. Because we don't have anything else to hold on to. Once I understand I am Purnam, I am not interested in being a Karta or a Bhokta. That's what he says. Once Jnanam is there is a place for karma. So why is the question of Jnana, Karma, Samuchaya? That because of lack of understanding, that's what he is trying to complete the argument. Yeah. So do we stop here?
Yeah.
Where did it stop?
That 159 footnote prayer. He has achieved the result of his prayer.
Okay. Yeah, we will start from that. Yes. Om Purnamada
Purnamidam Purnat
Purnamudachyate
Purnasya
Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om
Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari
Om
Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.